Welcome to the regular board meeting for the West Ada School District. It is Thursday, January 29th, 2026 at 6 p.m. We're very grateful this evening to have Spalding STEM Academy here to lead us in the pledge. Will everyone please stand?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You guys stay up here. We're going to take a quick picture.
I'll just fall, it's no big deal.
So I can get that on video, please?
Okay.
Great job, guys.
I thank you so much, guys. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
Madam Chair, I posted an amended agenda this afternoon in order to correct a clerical error under new business, section 500, batch renumbering.
Perfect. I'm open to a motion. Trustee Benetti?
I move that we accept the amended agenda.
Is there a second? Trustee McCullough?
I second that.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. With that, we will move on to reports and spotlights by Dr. Bubb.
Madam Chair, trustees, just real quick, obviously we're in the middle of political season. We are monitoring, I just want everybody to know we're monitoring budget decisions downtown really carefully. We are in full support of the governor's budget and where it's come out with. We know that there's a lot of different scenarios out there, but we are monitoring that closely. Met with the state superintendent today during a phone call just to express our support of the governor's budget and where it stands today. The other thing that I would say is we're really trying to be intentional about meeting with stakeholders. We will be meeting with parents on Monday. We're going to call that, at one point we called that dinner with Derek. We're going to reduce the budget a little bit and we're going to call it dessert with Derek and hopefully get a lot of work done. We also met with an employee experience committee that was 60 employees across the district representing almost every single school. And so that was, I think, a really informative meeting. And then lastly, but not least, we met with what I call the administrator think tank, and really an opportunity to talk about what are we doing well and what do we need to keep doing to make that experience the right experience for every single one of our employees, students, and parents, but also what are areas that we can improve on. And so it's been informative, and then we will set goals that we'll get out to the community here pretty quick. All of that being said, we do have some amazing people here tonight, and so I'll start out with Spalding STEM Academy, and Ms. Hampton is going to come talk about the great things going on over there. By the way, I'll tell you that might have been the largest group that we've had for the pledge, so
We don't mess
well
around.
done. It was and it was orchestrated perfectly, so nice job.
Ms. Combs, nicely done. Thank you. Well, good evening, Chair Fraser, trustees, Dr. Bubb, and all members of the executive team. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about our little school by the freeway. It is an honor to be here with you tonight and give you a little insight into Spalding STEM Academy as well as its surrounding community. Having witnessed the parental participation at our school, I would be remiss to exclude parents in this session, so you will hear reference to them as well tonight. At Spalding, we strive to point out the positive. Our foundational commitments are based on our mascot, the eagle, and the related acronym of soaring. At Spalding, we soar by being safe, owning our behaviors, aspiring to do our best, and being resilient. Each month, we focus on one of these traits through our positive behavior intervention system. Kindergarten through fifth grade teachers choose a student a week who represents the featured trait and enter a positive entry for them into the district student acknowledgement portal. I recognize these students by coming into classrooms and giving the selected student some form of award every Friday. Additionally, I have provided teachers with customized stickers for each trade, as you see there, and I have given them an unlimited amount to hand out as they see fit. There's also a special sticker, the highly regarded I Soar at Spalding in every way sticker that you see in the center on the right. When I see a student wearing any of these stickers, it's an opportunity for me to stop and ask them how they earned it so they can feel pride and reflect on their actions. It also gives parents the opportunity to do the same thing when students arrive home. Last year, I implemented a practice that features a student a month from each classroom. Each month, I hold lunch on the stage in the cafeteria, and 26 students sit together during their grade level's lunchtime while the rest of their grade level looks on. There, I introduce the students, and then they share a meal with their parents on the stage while the rest of the students watch them eat whatever their proud parents have brought them for the day. As you see on the left hand of the slide, their frame photos hang up in the hallway each month. This is a coveted acknowledgement, and it costs almost nothing to host the luncheon. It has made quite an impact. Spalding is a STEM school, a school of choice in West Ada, so science, math, engineering, and technology are covered on a rotating schedule in a specific STEM class. Mr. Brian Jensen provides hands-on activities ranging from coding to making catapults and levers. Teachers also supplement STEM practices in their own classroom. I invited parents to meet with me last year, and some shared the desire for greater emphasis on STEM activities. One of the best ideas came from a parent. Every Friday, our students now do a live science experiment on TVs throughout the building, and they even have a turn and talk moment as they make styrofoam swim using liquid dish soap, for example. There is also renewed interest in our garden, and as you can see on the top center of that slide, this too came from a community member who works with our students and staff members to make improvements on our grounds. I would also be remiss not to mention a very well-attended STEM night that occurs each winter that also brings our community together. And as you can see on the lower right side of that screen in those green and blue shirts, we have a robotics team that actually qualified for state competition this year. Together, they put together all the components of STEM and compete against other schools. Also, I want to add, I wish them luck as they go to Boise State University this Saturday and compete in the state competition. And I want to give a special thanks to our teachers who volunteer their time, Cricket Hunt and Brandy Huffman, who are third grade teachers at Spalding. Ooh, there we go. Also, I can't stand before you tonight without pointing out the commitment and love for the students that our staff demonstrates. You can see them all on the top left hand of this slide wearing their best team ever shirts. They have welcomed me, and they have helped our students soar to new heights of learning and citizenship. As you can see in the photos, despite the rigors of learning, there was always time for some fun and even a hug from West Ada's own Westie. This is my second year at the elementary level after making the move from high school, and that I can tell you I have entered an entirely new world of learning. My emphasis from the moment I stepped on campus was to bring my optimism and love for students of all ages to a new building of educators, but I had no idea how quickly and easily these students would win my heart and make that optimism so easy to retain. You saw them. How cute are they? The final slide you see there reflects the results of countless hours of lesson planning and raising the bar for students. Spalding scored above the state average for ISATs in both ELA and math last year. Our IRI percentage is 82.5% for grades K through 3, and on the iReady for 24-25, we ended the year with 78.1% of students above or near grade level in math and 77.5% of students above or near grade level in ELA. Highlights from this school year reflect that from Diagnostic 1 to Diagnostic 2, 25% more students reached grade level expectation between the fall and winter diagnostic for a total of 52.52% mid-year. We will keep moving forward and continue to work to bring all students to their highest levels of success before the school year ends. Thank you so much for allowing me to brag about Spalding. I am blessed to work there, and I appreciate your attention tonight. Thank you most of all to my students, my staff, and community members for making Spalding such a special place. Thank you, guys.
Mrs. Hampton, thank you so much for all you do. And I have to say, because you were at Hawaii and Rocky with both of my kids, so I've known you for a good long time, and you do a great job. We'd like to take a picture with you and anyone you'd like to invite up with you.
one of the things that I think makes West Ada really unique is our own schools of choice. And we're super excited to have Idaho Fine Arts Academy here. We are the only, I believe, public fine arts academy in the state of Idaho. And it's always great to be able to chat with them and include them in this conversation. So we're excited to have you guys come up and talk a little bit about what's going on at IFA.
Hello, everybody. We are super excited to be presenting in front of all of you. I'm Harper Pachoda. I'm a contemporary major at IFA. That's Millie. She's also a contemporary major. There's Kyo. He's a theater major. Right there, that's Ella. She's a classical major. And right there, that's Stratton. He's a film major. And there's Mr. Giovannini. He just teaches.
Thank you, Harper.
All right.
Awesome. Oh, got you. Hello, I'm Millie. So I'm here to talk about the food drive. So IFA led the annual West Ada Canned Food Drive this year, collecting a total of 1,301 cans. With a school population of about 250 students, this averages to approximately 5.2 cans per student, which is pretty astounding. The drive is organized as a competition between the 7 different majors, with the winning major receiving a donut party and our handmade annual canned food drive trophy, which everybody always gets excited around every year. Ultimately, it is a positive and engaging way to start off the year while giving back to the community. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Kyo, and I wanted to talk to you about Pippin. Pippin is our annual full school musical that allows students from all majors to audition and collaborate on a production different from a lot of our typical performances. Nearly every major is involved, from performers to crew members and the creative team, and it is already shaping up to be a fantastic show. Last year, our musical Hadestown was honored as Best Musical at the Patty Duke Awards, and one of our leads was in the top 8 nationally at the Jimmy Awards Musical Theater Competition.
Good evening. As you probably remember, my name is Stratton Rouse, and I apologize for not having a visual aid here for you. But currently at Idaho Fine Arts Academy, we are working with students and actually many of you here on the board to help begin a student-led campaign focused on fundraising the significant costs of creating and funding an auditorium. From setting up accounts to advertising and promoting this cause, all being student-led here at our school. And it has been a wonderful opportunity already to work with many of you and speak with some of you about it, and we look forward to continuing that process in the future. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Ella Dunsel. I am the Vice President of our Student Senate, and I am also the Vice President of IFA's Rotary Interact chapter. Every year, IFA puts on a neat little fundraiser that we call Cocoa for Kenya. Idaho Fine Arts Academy is fortunate to have a sister school in Kenya called Caring Hearts, which works to make education accessible to women and boys living in poverty who are striving for a better future. Each holiday season, IFA sets up a cocoa bar for 2 weeks, selling hot cocoa and apple cider to sponsor 1 to 3 girls or boys in their educational journeys. This year, we were fortunate to sponsor 1 girl to go on and have an education. This event is organized by our Interact Club, a service group dedicated to helping communities whenever possible, and this is also part of our Rotary.
All right, so this is my favorite event of the year. I'm guilty because I've organized it for 2 years. So IFA, as you know, we do not play sports, but we don't like to feel left out in terms of having homecoming dance. So what do? We do a homecoming kickball game, which is staff versus students. I played on the staff team this year because a few were out due to some old people knee injuries. And basically, yeah, it really gets the whole student body involved. Everyone's cheering, everyone's out, there's music. Mr. Scrivener was playing trumpet this year. The staff does usually win, but it's super fun, and it really just is just something that's wonderful and leads us right into the beginning of school. That's wonderful.
All right, so we had the pleasure of having Toby Gad come to our school. And Toby Gad is a world-renowned songwriter known for his hits such as All of Me by John Legend and If I Were a Boy by Beyonce. He visited for IFA for a residency and a masterclass. During this experience, students also had the opportunity to work with Broadway star Antonique Smith, American Idol singer Allison Arietta, Grammy-nominated cellist Dave Edgar, and TikTok creator Anthony Garguglia. This experience offered students a look into how their professional futures could be, and being able to work and discuss with professional artists is super valuable to everybody in our school community, so it's really awesome that they came out.
All right, thank you so much. Any questions?
That was fantastic. Thank you so much. Any comments or questions from the board? No, we're just all impressed. We were all looking at
Wonderful.
each other going, wow, this is awesome. We would love to take a picture with you if you want to come up and invite anybody that you'd like to have in that picture.
Mr. Giovannini, just before you leave, you should know, I recognize that you do a lot of work for those kids. They may say you're just the teacher, but I recognize there's a lot of time, effort, and energy that goes into being just the teacher, and we appreciate that. So thank you so much. And you get the last laugh because you get to give them their grades, so whatever that looks like, okay? We'll see you guys back next year. Last two items that I'll just throw out there really quick. I really want to celebrate all those folks that were involved in our Professional Development Day. Yesterday was a Professional Development Day, which meant our teachers come in to learn and to really lean into different instructional practices and things that they can take right out of that professional development and put it right back in the classroom and impact learning. Those days, sometimes I think people will they wonder what goes on those days. And I'm just going to give you this little snippet and say those are the days that are critical to maintaining where West Ada is as a district, making sure that we're always on the cutting edge, making sure that we're always offering our kids the best educational experiences possible. That doesn't happen very easily. There's a lot of people on this team that make that happen. There's a lot of teachers out there that make that happen. There's a lot of instructional coaches and so on and so forth to make that a great day. But seeing our teachers engage, hearing from our teachers, hey, I want to stay a little bit longer because I'm getting into this is powerful, and that's a credit to a lot of the people that put the time, work, and energy into that. The second one, and I don't normally advertise about the foundation or celebrate the foundation in this setting, but I do want to mention last year the Boise Open gave us the opportunity to sell tickets to the Boise Open, and then we got a portion of those proceeds. We made $53,000. We got a $53,000 check. That was part of that. It's huge for the foundation. That money goes to helping kids that may need a little something extra, whether that be going towards lunches, whether that be going towards whatever that is, to bridge that gap. That's really incredible opportunity for us. So congratulations to Jamie, our executive director in the foundation. That's pretty great. Last but not least, Mr. War, I almost didn't recognize you because you're in a suit and tie or a jacket and tie. Love to have you up to talk a little bit about the winter raffle.
Chairman Frazier, trustees, Dr. Bubb, executive team members, glad to be back here tonight. Excited, here we are again, naming the 10 finalists for the 25-26 winter raffle that supports West Ada extracurricular activities and programs, and this one actually elementaries participated in too or could. Tonight we're going to select 10 finalists that will be invited to the varsity basketball game on next Friday, February 6th at Mountain View High School. That evening will be a true celebration. Every finalist will win a prize that's valued at $750 or more, leading up to our grand prize winner, a 2025 Hyundai Tucson valued at $35,000, donated or sponsored by Kendall Auto Group. We're going to give away $60,000 worth of prizes on Friday night, so it's exciting. This winter raffle was another successful run, helping our programs and generating revenue to support their needs. The winter raffle is our smallest raffle based on the number of people that participate in it, but we still raised $282,503 for our winter programs. And right now, between our fall and our winter raffle, we are at $820,000 with the spring raffle to still be held. We're anticipating that we're going to go over $1 million for the first time in our raffle this year. So that's exciting. Knock on wood. So with the buy 4 tickets, get a 5th free option, we had 6,400, exactly 6,400 total entries in this drawing. Marcus and Amy both have copies of the master list, and it has all the ticket numbers recorded. Each ticket is tied to a number between 1 and 640, or 6,400, excuse me. We're going to use randomizer.org to select our 10 finalists. Ken Hyde has my screen up on the monitor so everybody can watch. Make sure that this is all on the up and up. I'm going to hit the generate button. The first 10 numbers will come up. Those will be our 10 finalists. I'll read the numbers. Marcus and Amy will, just for the record, put their names on the board agenda, or it'll be on the record, and then I will contact them. We'll come together next Friday. Anybody's welcome if they want to come. It's a cool event, and we'll do that next Friday. So let's do this. Okay, so we're going to randomize now. Everybody can see that. So, all right. So we're going to start. Our first finalist is number 153.
Andrew Johnson.
Okay. 2,097.
Stacy Stoker.
6,062.
Carrie Wilson.
Okay. 3,598.
Angie Stevenson.
Okay. 5,656.
Chantel Wiles.
Okay. 919.
Sherry Wheeler.
Okay. That was 919, correct?
919 is Sherry Wheeler, yes.
Sherry Wheeler. 4,220.
Cindy McCubbin.
Okay. 6,095.
Jennifer Furman.
5,278.
Kirsten Lamont.
And I think our last one is 1,541.
I'm sorry, Jason, will you repeat that last number, please?
1,541.
$1,541 is Dylan Hatfield.
Dylan Hatfield. I will tell you, Marcus, we improved so much on that process. That was really good. So, all right, so we have our 10 finalists. They've all been record confirmed. Did you guys? Okay, thank you. We want to make sure that that we're accurate and we're doing this the right way. The finalists will be information will be sent out starting tomorrow morning. We'll get letters out to them, confirm. We're going to go to Mountain View. Right now, we're at $2.77 million raised in the last 4 years. We've started at like 489,000, and we anticipate to go over to $1 million. We're doing good things. We're trying to help kids out, and we're excited about it. Same time, same place, April 13th. Do you have any questions?
Jason, I'll just say two things really quick. Number one, Marcus, that sounded like you were reading graduation. So, I mean, I think that, I feel like we have about 4,000 kids that are getting ready to walk across the stage here in May. That might be your calling. And then number two, I would say this. I think you do this raffle because you love kids and you love athletics, and this fills that void for them. But it gives me an opportunity 3 times a year to say thank you. This has been a huge impact. Thank you to our community members who participate, but this has been a huge impact to West Ada and to all of our athletics and activities. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to chime in quickly and say thank you to, I've actually known Jason Moore for many years. And I do know that this has really come about largely from his own efforts and doing, and really thank you so much for that. And I also want to share with you, one of the things I love about having new board members is that when they haven't seen something like this before and they think you're actually going to list all 6,400 names, so that was awesome. Thank you again. That was great. Thank you so much. All right, we don't have anyone signed. Oh, you're done? You're good? Okay. We don't have anyone signed up for patron input tonight, but I do like to remind everyone that in the future, if you are interested in that, it is 2 minutes that you have to speak, and it needs to be on something high level. Policy, procedure, we never speak to an individual employee or student or anything like that. And, always happy to have you. In this portion of the meeting, that does need to be in accordance with agendized items. So I am open to a motion on consent agenda. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we accept the consent agenda unanimously.
Do I have a second? Trustee McCall?
I'll second that.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. That will take us to the portion of our meeting titled Old Business, Discussion and Action. We will begin with Policy 723.1, Campus Sentinels. This will be a third reading presented by Marcus Myers.
Good evening, Madam Chair, trustees, and Superintendent Dr. Bubb. Thank you for the opportunity to present and discuss a third reading of Policy 506.10, now 723.10, Campus Sentinels. Our core beliefs are set into action with West Ada's dedication to systems of support. In West Ada, we work to ensure every student has access to a supportive and high-quality learning environment where consistent systems, structures, and instructional practices are established in every school and classroom. Safe and secure learning environments are paramount to creating and maintaining these systems, and we are deeply committed to protecting students, staff, and our community. Again, I want to recognize the dedication to safety and security and our practices in place every day in every building. This includes our building leaders, district leaders, teaching teams, parents, students, and of course, our partnership with law enforcement. Your vigilance never goes unnoticed, and it is greatly valued. In review, the Campus Sentinels policy comes before you as a third reading in action. The goal is prevention and deterrence by providing a concealed armed security presence on campus. Campus Sentinels will be West Ada employees wearing a visible identification card who are retired, former, or current law enforcement officers in good standing. All candidates will undergo a rigorous screening process that ensures their good standing status and are required to participate in annual training in partnership with local law enforcement. This training is focused on the unique needs, responses, and skills in a school environment. A question was raised at the second reading about the process for a detailed review of prior employment records. In order to apply, applicants will agree to a full disclosure of employment records, including any incidences relating to conduct. This is our current process and is statutorily required for hiring staff who work with our children. This required process will also apply to applicants for Campus Sentinels. Another question was raised at the second reading about the budget for Campus Sentinels. Yes, there is a budget for this, and we will account for this, as we do with other security expenditures. I provided the following table to demonstrate the daily rate of pay ranges for our security staff. We will use these ranges to plan our fiscally responsible budget. Also, like other security measures, we mustn't provide details about the number of staff and resources to maintain our level of deterrence through strategic ambiguity. Since the second reading, the only change was to the numbering from 506.10 to 723.10, which, given the operational nature of this policy, now aligns with our operations series of policies. In closing, I want to extend our appreciation for our patrons who provided 1,007 entries in our feedback survey. Since the second reading, we had 10 survey responses, 8 of which selected a 5 on a scale from 1 to 5, with 5 being tremendous support for our campus sentinels. Thank you, trustees, and with this, both Lieutenant Harper, who's in the back behind us, welcome, sir, and I will stand for any further questions or further considerations.
Any comments or questions from the board? Trustee Brown?
As these will be West Data employees, they are subject to the same code of ethics and policies, like how they present themselves on social media like any other West Data employee.
Madam Chair, Trustee Brown, that is correct.
Other questions or comments? Trustee Brown?
I just wanted to share that the day I finished student teaching was the same day as Sandy Hook Elementary, and so I've never stepped into a classroom and not thought about it. And so I have appreciated every effort to make schools safer, and I'm grateful for extensive training and offers through our Meridian Police Department and for this robust program. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Trustee McCullough?
I've been a little quiet for the last 2 readings, just absorbing all the information. I wanted to make sure that I took in everything that you said and had time to process it. And I read every line of the Sentinel policy. I know that you guys started it a lot sooner before I was here, and I'm just coming in for the tail end of it. There was an officer, a gentleman who spoke at the first reading and gave a testimony about his real experience of being in that situation where there was a shooting at a school, and you're here today. And I just want to let you know that I haven't forgotten what you said since that meeting, and it's just really struck a chord with me. And I know that we're all here to protect our kids and to teach our kids and do what's best for them. And the level of security is of utmost importance. I have kids that go to West Data. It's important to me that that I know that they're safe. And I appreciate the time that's gone into this, the detail, the fact that this is, 8 pages long, and the amount of training that they have to go through and the amount of detail down to the bullet that is allowed to use. I have not overlooked every single thing and all the many hours that everybody has come together to build this policy. I'm really impressed. I'm proud to be part of West Data, knowing that my kids' security and the security of all the other children in West Data are of the utmost importance to everyone else too that put this policy together. I'm super impressed. I'm very thankful. And I have taken very seriously all the input as well. Voting on a policy I take as a great responsibility. I think the last time I looked at all the comments, it was over 900, and I read every single one of them. And I listened and really took seriously all the comments that were given. And I guess I just want everyone to know that I have listened to both sides before I do make a vote. I have taken everything into consideration. And I'm just very appreciative of all the time and effort that's gone into it. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I think any deterrence from something like this happening in a school in our school district, I feel like I would be behind. So thank you.
Other comments or questions? Trustee Benetti?
Yeah, it has, we've been through this for the policy committee for the better part of a year, so the nuts and bolts of it inside and out, I know pretty intimately. And I just wanted to take an opportunity actually to extend my thanks to Jeff Stans, who started this prospect about a year ago at his initiative, thinking outside the box, realizing what a important step this would be for deterrence and the safety of our children. And then, of course, although we have thanked him multiple times before, Lieutenant Sean Harper for all the work that he put into it to make sure this policy was the best that it could be. And thank you in advance for, if it passes, the work that you're going to have to continue to do to make sure that these sentinels are the best that they can be. It's always an interesting thing when you have something, a policy that you put into place with the absolute fervent hope that it will never be needed. But it's that forethought that brings us to this situation to do something that we hope and pray will never be necessary in the Westdata School District. But I do appreciate Mr. Tan's and Lieutenant Harper's leadership in bringing it to this point. It does have my support. I do plan on voting for this motion, and thank you.
Vice Chair Zuna?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think the only other thing that I wanted to just mention, I want to be aware that there's still staff members and parents that are uncomfortable with this plan. And just as a reminder, as your representatives, we're here for you all the time, not just because this policy is being put into place. And so if you have concerns, continue to reach out, have conversations so that you can know and understand the program, whether it be with the trustees, staff members in the schools, or others. Just continue to have those conversations, because safety is so important, and we should continue to talk about that. Thank you.
Right, and I'll add my 2 cents as well. I'm definitely in support of this, and like has been discussed this evening by other trustees, we have had a lot of comments, we have had a lot of input, and a lot of work has gone into this. And I think all of that together has brought us to this point tonight, which is to continue to do and look into all things and all ways to protect staff and students. And this is yet another level in that process and in that system to try to help. So I'm very supportive. With that, I'm open to a motion. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we adopt policy 723.10 Campus Sentinels as presented by Chief Academic Officer Marcus Myers.
Is there a second? Trustee McCullough?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. The next step in our old business discussion and action will be hearing from Dr. David Reinhardt concerning planning and committee boundary updates.
Madam Chair, Honorable Trustees, Dr. Bubb, I am here to give you an update on the work our Long-Range Planning Committee, led by Miranda Carson, has done. We've received feedback from you and from other community members, and before we bring it to you on February 9th, we wanted to let you know what we've heard and what adjustments we've made. We'll talk briefly about the following items. Tonight is an additional public meeting that we've added from our initial plan. So in all, our community members have had 6 public options to give input. We've had 2 surveys, and we have received a number of emails as well. We're going to talk about extending or expanding our grandfathering, a small shift in our elementary proposal, and then just mention that no geographic changes to secondaries have taken place. You'll notice on our timeline that we've presented to you through the fall and up to now that all we've changed is we've added this evening's meeting for additional public feedback and to also publicly talk about the changes we've made. It had been recommended that we expand grandfathering students to the 11th grade in high school. If you recall, there was a change made in the Owyhee boundary. Our committee looked at what impact that would have and noticed that ultimately, because your second goal within policy after safety is to have the impact the fewest number of students, our high school boundary change was only going to affect 130 students. By grandfathering all students that are currently at Owyhee, we're able to absorb those 130 students in the current Owyhee boundary. If they so choose, busing will begin to Eagle High School in that zone. But if parents choose to remain at Owyhee, they may. All students that currently attend there. So next year's 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, as well as, I'm going to go back, going the wrong way. Ken, could you help me go back a couple? Thank you. Oh, here we go. Wrong button. Here we go. 5th and 8th graders will also be grandfathered as we had previously announced. Those words in blue, those words and numbers in blue are the only changes we've made since we were last together. You'll see a small dashed line in the Chaparral boundary. There are 7 students that live in there. There are no additional plans for developments immediately in that zone. We heard from those families that they walk to school from those neighborhoods. They appreciate walking to school in that zone to Chaparral. And we could make that change and only affect 7 students. Chaparral will need to adjust boundaries probably relatively soon, but those adjustments can be made as we move south in the future. If we make no changes, you've seen the chart before, but you'll notice in tonight what we're calling the gold proposal. The gold proposal does leave Chaparral in the same condition they were in, but again, it was 7 students. We thought we could absorb that for 1 year until we can make further changes, and then the only other school affected in the elementary proposal is Ponderosa, and they are also well established to absorb any changes we've made. Ultimately, tonight we're giving you this additional feedback on what we've heard and the adjustments our committee has recommended. We will present to you at the February 9th meeting for action if you so choose. I stand for any questions.
Any comments or questions? Trustee Benetti.
So 2 things on grandfathering. So you seem okay, but I want to just restate, like you to restate your confidence that the grandfathering of all grades, effectively just a blanket grandfathering option, is going to be acceptable at Owyhee and of course with its, downstream impacts on Eagle.
Madam Chair, Trustee Benetti, we had a robust conversation within our committee. We evaluated the numbers, and Owyhee can accept any of those students that choose to stay there. But the actual boundary will change in that zone. So in the future, students that attend Independence will ultimately, when they attend high school, will be in the Eagle High School boundary.
Trustee Benetti.
And a second question, you had mentioned that those students 5th, 8th, and then 10th, 11th, 12th would be grandfathered, but I believe it's just the option. They will have the option to be grandfathered if they so choose, and the trade-off is that they will not have West Ada provided transportation.
Madam Chair, Trustee Benetti, that is correct.
Other comments or questions? I really appreciate you looking at the grandfathering option there. I know I had asked for that last time and didn't know if it would work, so I'm thankful that things have come together. It looks like it's going to. I think that'll be nice. High school's a hard time to move, and I appreciate you giving that option. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Right. All right, that takes us to new business. We will go to policy 604.1, and that'll be artificial intelligence. It'll be presented by Rhonda McDonough.
Good evening, Chair Frazier, trustees, Dr. Bubb. I am presenting the first reading of Policy 604.1, Artificial Intelligence Policy, as well as the administrative regulations in response to the rapidly evolving landscape of AI. It's important in education that it is utilized effectively and has the potential to enhance teaching and learning when done so. The district policy is necessary to bring clarity and transparency and guidelines for its use. More light was brought to this in recent legislation, in a legislative session, as you may know, where consideration was brought to add a statewide framework for responsible and ethical use of generative AI in K-12 schools. The AI in Education Act aims to set parameters for the use, focusing on classroom use, safety, transparency, student privacy. You'll see tonight that that's also what we are attempting to do. We do acknowledge that AI tools naturally bring some legitimate concerns for people and fears, but we firmly believe that with comprehensive education like other tools, continuous evaluation, sustaining training, that we can transform those apprehensions into informed confidence. Fundamentally, in the proposed policy and the administrative regulations, they both reflect that what we value is learning. We are in the business of learning. AI supports processes and efficiencies, but it never can replace highly effective teaching, critical thinking, or learning in our schools. So with that said, I will read the policy. The Board of Trustees recognizes that the proposed policy, the Board of Trustees recognizes that artificial intelligence, when utilized effectively, has the potential to enhance the teaching and learning experiences in our schools. Accordingly, we direct the superintendent or designee to establish procedures to guide the ethical and effective use of AI across the district, ensuring that this technology serves as a productive tool that contributes to college and career readiness for all students. While I won't read the ARs, I would like to point out a couple of things that I think are valuable key factors. The regulation specifically addresses safety, transparency, student privacy, classroom use parameters, an annual selection tool process, which I think is critical and something that is evolving so quickly that it would probably require annual, if not more, sometimes looks at. And I think that the legislation would also require that. Roles and responsibilities. I think that one part of the ARs that is particularly interesting is the practical examples. What does it actually look like when we use it in our schools? And they set a clearer picture for our staff, our parents, our kids. I think that's important. So if you would like to take a few minutes to review that, and I'm happy to stand for questions.
Any comments or questions? Trustee Benetti?
Well, I really appreciate particularly the detail that's been put into the ARs. I'm really pleased that you are leading this and you're thinking about it not only from the perspective, of the students, because of course the initial thought is, stop them from cheating. It's like, no. That's an aspect of it, but more importantly is how can we make learning more effective overall, and how can this be used to help make our staff's lives easier and to make them more effective and more productive. And I just couldn't be more happy that you're leading this, and I look to the future iterations of this. And I just want to state plainly for the record that the policy on artificial intelligence was not written with artificial intelligence. Thank you.
And the way you said that sounded like artificial intelligence. Any other comments or questions? Trustee McCullough?
I just want to say I appreciate there being some kind of a policy coming forward, because I feel like you can't just say no AI, because AI is becoming a part of our day. I can't tell you how many times I used it to help my daughter solve some problems, who lives far away. She was asking me questions and I didn't know answers, so I kept asking ChatGPT. So I think what we need to do is be able to arm them with appropriate ways to use it. When to use it, the correct ways to use it, and I appreciate this, that it's not being banned completely, but maybe we can move forward with it in mind, like how do we incorporate this into our lives by being able to use it responsibly. So, thank you.
Chair Frazier, trustee, I think that that's the sentiment of anyone. I think that it's like other tools that we have seen come about. It is very powerful. I think that our duty is to prepare kids, and it's part of our mission. I think it aligns to that, but also our beliefs that, again, we're in the business of learning, and high quality teaching could never be replaced by technology in general. So thank you for that.
Vice Chair Zuna?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to put someone on the spot with this question, so I'm really sorry. But I'm just curious overall, like, how is teaching changing in the world of AI? And how do you evaluate now what our students are learning?
So, Chair Frazier, trustee, I don't know that I feel totally on the spot about that. I think that our teachers are skilled at identifying when and how to use it. I think that as things evolve, this week I have an excellent example of how I think it's used best for efficiencies. It doesn't replace the critical thinking, but it starts with the prompt of that. And we see it in teaching. We teach strategies to our teachers. We want them to replicate. They can be very labor intensive to build the materials for that. And some of the custom work that is being done by our ITC team right now through Magic School, which is our adopted platform, actually is developing those tools, and teachers, it's kind of a plug and play, and then the teacher's intuition and also their expertise going through and checking. I think it's the same when you think about kids. I think it creates thinking partners at times, efficiencies. I think when you dig into how kids really use it, it speeds up the process so we get to the learning that matters most. And so I think as it evolves and we learn more about how to do that, but I think our teachers are skilled in the business of figuring that part out. But I think we continue to just kind of grow and evolve. I have to give a shout out to our technology team led by Amy Larson, the Director of Data Driven Response. In fact, Dr. Bubb was recently at a conference and noted that the work that they're doing with AI to support our teachers and really dig in and be learners about it, how it best suits our kids and effectively. Again, I think the policy or the ARs would be updated regularly, but I hope that answers your question.
Other comments or questions? All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, see you in 2
I
weeks.
look forward to seeing you again. All right, that's going to take us to kind of a lot. This is going to be an overview and discussion of Section 500 updates. Marcus Myers is going to lead this, and it will sound complicated, but it's not, so just buckle up.
All right. Madam Chair, trustees, and Superintendent Dr. Bubb, tonight we're recommending the board consider an update to the numbering of policies within Section 500 Student Success. This change is purely structural. At this time, the content of the policies is not changing. We're only updating the numbering so these policies better align with our current organizational chart and with the way our policies are organized. This alignment makes it easier for staff and the public to quickly locate policies related to specific student success topics and understand how policies connect across these sections. This is the same process the board approved last year with Section 400. That update improved clarity and usability, and this proposal follows that same approach. In short, action items A through G are housekeeping updates that improve consistency, access, and alignment while keeping the policy content as is. Thank you, and I stand for any questions or further recommendations for the Policy Review Committee that you may have.
See, that wasn't that scary. That was great.
So far, so good.
Ooh. Any comments or questions thus far? Trustee Benetti.
Yeah, just a comment that typically when we have the policy committee make recommendations to the board, we typically have 3 readings and then action. However, it is also very typical for us to have what we call first in action if we don't make any changes or if it's pressing because of a statutory requirement or if it's just a really minor typo that's changing. And because we have this instance where none of the actual content of any of the changes that we're about to make not even a word. It's just housekeeping, as Chief Academic Officer Marcus Myers said, and that's why it's first and action on the same day.
Thank you for that. Other comments or questions? All right. Do you have more you'd like to explain to us, or do you want us to take off with action?
Madam Chair, that is all I have to explain at this time. You can take off with action when you're ready.
That was fantastic. You're lovely. Thank you so much. With that, I'm open to a lot of actions and motions. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we approve the consolidation of policy 501.90 into policy 510.10 and rescind policy 501.90.
Can I have a second, please? Trustee McCullough?
I'll second.
Would anyone actually like to try and discuss this? Okay, good. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. I'm open to another motion, Trustee Benetti.
I move that we approve the consolidation of policies 502.11, 502.50, 503.40 into policy 520.10 and to rescind policy 502.11, 502.50, and 503.40.
Trustee McCullough, would you like to second that?
I would love to second that.
That's fantastic. Anybody want to discuss it? No? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we approve the consolidation of policies 602.80, 501.60, 501.70, 501.71, and 504.92 into policy 530.10 and to rescind policy 602.80, 501.60, 501.70, 504.92 and 501.71.
Very nice. Trustee McCullough, would you like to second that?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we consolidate policies 530.80, 504.10, 504.30 into policy 540.10 and to rescind policy 503.80, 504.10, and 504.30.
Second, Trustee McCullough.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we approve the consolidation of policies 602.60, 602.61, 602.62, 602.63, 602.65 into policy 570.10 and to rescind policy 602.60, 602.61, 602.62, 602.63, and 602.65.
Thank you. Trustee McCullough, second.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Is there any quick way we can say the next one, or do you get to read them all? Trustee Benetti, take it away.
I move that we consolidate policy 504.90, 504.91, 504.93 into policy 580.10 and rescind policy 504.90, 504.91, and 504.93.
Trustee McCullough, second.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Trustee Benetti.
I move that we approve the renumbering of policies 500.30 to 512.10, 501.80 to 517.10, 504.60 to 518.10, 501.01 to 521.10, 502.80 to 522.10, 502.13 to 523.10, 502.14 to 529.10, 603.22 to 534.10, 503.20 to 546-.10, 703.20 to 582.10, 703.30 to 584.10, 503.70 to 612.10, 504.20 to 706-10, 504.50 to 707.10, to 10, 504.70 to 708-10, 504-81 to 709-10, 504-80 to 721-10, 502.60 to 722-10, 504.40 to 723-10, 502.12 to 724-10, 504.82 to 725-10, 502-81 to 1010-10, 502.82 to 1020-10, and to rescind policy 500.30, 501.80, 504.60, 501.101, 502.80, 502.13, 603.22, 503.20, 703.20, 703.3, 503.70, 504.20, 504-50, 504-70, 504-81, 504.80, 502.60, 504.40, 502.12, 504.82, 502.81, 502.82. No.
I'm sorry, what?
Not. Yeah.
Trustee McCullough, please second that.
I'm going to second that with a slow clap.
And discussion is not an option. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Let's not do that again soon. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Myers. With that, good of the order, we didn't have anyone sign up this evening, and just like with, in the beginning with, I can't think, Patron Input, that is something that needs to be signed up for and also limits the speaker to 2 minutes, needs to be kept to high level policy and procedure, never to individual employee or staff member or a student. And again, we had no one sign up this evening. So any future agenda items? All right, I'm open to a motion to adjourn.
Somebody else, I've done enough.
Trustee Brown?
I motion to adjourn.
Sarah, second?
I'll second
Trustee
that.
McCullough, excellent. Any discussion? David, you want to sing? Do you have an instrument? You got anything? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We will adjourn at 7:03 p.m. Have a good evening.